Hi, Primas. Welcome back to this episode of Las Primas Dicen. I'm your host, Pam, and today I have a very special guest for you all. It is one of my dearest friends, Adriana Sierra. Yay!
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining me for this conversation, Adriana. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So one of
I'm
the
excited.
things, yeah, I'm glad you're excited. One of the things that I never thought I would be doing is this podcasting. I
Yeah.
never I never thought that I would be putting myself out on the internet in this way and having these conversations with, my cousins, my friends, my mom. But honestly, I think that it has been such a blessing to be able to have these real and raw conversations with my biological primas, like my blood primas, but also my friends that I consider primas. And here in Las Primas
Yeah.
Dicen, if you're listening, you're a prima.
Yay.
Yay. So today we have a really interesting episode. We
Okay.
are yes, we are going to be talking about, would we survive if we met our husbands today? Would we survive?
Da-da-da-da.
Da, 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 da. And this is an interesting conversation because Adriana and I are both married now for many years.
Many years.
And many years. We talk about just different relationship situationships that we have seen our friends go through, and we're kind of like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That's wild. So we're gonna, get into like the dating scene, what's going on now, what we experience, and basically like would we survive if we had to be dating in 2026.
Oof. All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with a quick poll or just some questions to, get us warmed up for the conversation.
Yeah.
So, would your husband swipe right on you today? Like, do you think he'd
So,
swipe right?
okay. Swiping right is when they're like, ooh, I like them, or no.
I
Is
think
that good?
swipe right is good.
Swipe right is good. Okay. He has
What do you
told me that I don't know. The thing is, I approached him 15 years ago.
say?
Actually, almost 16. Yeah. So it's so hard because during that time when I met him, there was no that I know of dating app.
Yeah.
I met him in 2009 and we started dating a year later in 2010. So I think it was MySpace, Facebook. I'm out dating myself right now. So I'm like
Yes.
really trying to get myself into the right frame of mind. But I think
MySpace.
y-
The
based off
MySpace
of,
days.
yeah, MySpace days, he did tell me that I was his type when he first met me. That initial attraction was there for him as well. So I don't know. I feel like so much of the whole swipe right, swipe left, from what I understand, it's first based off of that initial, okay, are they attractive? Am I attracted to them or not? So based off of that, I want to say yes. At least that's what he's
Yes.
told me. Okay.
Yes, girl, he would swipe right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would definitely swipe right because you're a
Okay.
baddie.
No, stop.
If you're listening on Spotify and you're not watching on YouTube, I would suggest hop over to the YouTube because Adriana is aging like fine wine. She just gets
Thank
better with
you.
time.
35, yes.
Yes. Let me see. If I think Fernando would. I think I don't know, it's hard. I
Yeah,
think that I look a lot different than when he first met me. And me and Fernando actually met kind of virtually as well. And we could probably get into that
okay.
later on. But he saw my Facebook photos initially and he thought I looked cute.
Swipe right.
And he swiped right at that time, but I look very
Yeah,
different now. So I'm gonna say he's gonna swipe right,
swipe
but I
right.
do look different.
Swipe right.
Swipe right. They better swipe right.
Yes, they better.
Okay, so would you swipe right on him today?
Absolutely. He's fine.
Yes. Yes. Luis, your husband is a
I'm so
very
attracted to him.
yes, is a very nice looking gentleman, and he's
Yeah.
just getting, like, skinnier and buffer as the days goes by. He's, like, aging backwards.
Yes, he's aging backwards. Men, they drive me crazy. It's like, how do you do it? I'm struggling.
Yes. Um, I would swipe right on Fernando as well. I think that Fernando has a very like cool, unique style that's very interesting. And even when I saw him through Facebook as well, I was like, oh, this kid is kind of unique. I always thought he had like a unique look, especially like with his glasses. That's something that like people
Yeah.
always like tell him, and like with his salt pepper hair. So I would
Mhm.
definitely swipe right.
All right.
All right. So, we are asking primas the dangerous question again. If we met our husbands now in 2026 instead of whenever we met them, would we still end up together? So, this is going to be a juicy, juicy conversation. And we're going to get into
Yeah.
our first segment, which is recreating our dating profiles. Like, what would our dating profiles look like? What would our husband's dating profile look like? So, what would your dating profile say? Like in like a brief summary of who you are now in 2026.
Man,
If you if you were not married and you were out here on these dating apps, what would you put as your bio?
this girl be having all kinds of different obsessions every 3, 6 months. So watch out because one moment she be wanting to learn all Portuguese.
You
Everything is learn Portuguese, the next it's art.
okay, you would put
No.
obsessed with hobbies.
Obsessed with hobbies, yes. I think, my profile would be currently in art mode, and if you speak Portuguese or a third language, if you're trilingual, let's talk.
That's awesome. I can definitely see that.
Yes.
I think mine would say probably what it says right now, like on my Instagram, which
Mhm.
is, let me see, daughter of the king,
Yes, of
books.
course.
Yes, books,
Uh,
writing, podcaster.
yes, I love that. First daughter of the king, that's right. Okay, I wanna put that one on too.
You can add it. You can add it.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. What emojis would you use in your bio?
Emojis. Paint, for sure, paint. Paint, and I would put the Cuban flag, being Cuban American, of course. I would put that. And maybe a little mic. I like to sing here and there. So
Yes.
fun hobbies. Fun hobbies, yeah. And
Okay.
you?
I would put the book emoji, the little emoji of like the hand holding the pencil for writing, the
Yeah,
mic for podcasting,
love that.
and I think the hands up emoji like this because it's my favorite emoji. Like
Nice.
I'm always gonna use this emoji, like, yes.
Yes, yes. I love that.
Okay.
Very encouraging.
So last one here for our dating profiles.
Okay.
Would you, and I kind of answered mine, would you mention your faith? I think we both answered,
Yes.
how important do you think that is to like lead with that we would, yes, add that in our profiles. Why is that important?
Well, super important. I don't know how long I can talk about this one, but for me, as you all know, my husband being my first boyfriend when I was 20, as soon as he mentioned Christ to me, that was the most beautifulest thing besides how attractive he is. That really stood out to me because it's the foundation, it's his values, his morals, where his headspace is at. And I wanted to be aligned with someone who is on that similar level with me in terms of just their outlook on life, what's important to them. And that being the most important is what I was looking for. And still today, 15 and a half years later, that is priority for me. That would be my number one. Yes.
Yes, I completely agree. I think that some people might shy away from
Yeah.
disclosing their faith in
Yes.
their bio, but that's such an important part of who we are. And
Hmm.
there were relationships in my past where I was for sure unevenly yoked. And
Yeah.
I thought that I was really into this person. I really liked them. I really wanted to be with them. But no matter what, the clashing of the fact that I was a person who followed Christ,
Mm,
believed in the Bible, considered herself a Christian, that for many, not many, but for some of the more serious relationships that I had actually was just such a point of contention. And so ultimately those relationships ended. And so that's why it's
wow.
very important to be like upfront about your faith because that is
Yes.
huge in a
That's
relationship.
huge.
Yeah.
That's huge, yeah.
All right. So let's see. Let's continue talking about swiping right and
Yeah.
the physical, because physical is important.
Physical, yeah. Yeah.
Spirituality is super important, but
Yes.
physical is important too.
Physical's important too.
We gotta like what we looking at.
Gotta be fine.
So what would immediately attract you? Like you can this could be specific to your husband Luis or like what you are in general like attracted to in men.
Yes. So, what I do have a type. I besides the number one being that they love the Lord, right, and spirituality, my type is a nice brown skin Latino. That's just my type. That's what I've always been attracted to, and I know that I'm a sucker for that. And my husband, he's it's just perfect. He's got that beautiful Venezuelan complexion and he's just has the perfect face, just so beautiful.
Yes, tall, dark, and handsome. That's how you like them.
Yes, yes,
Okay, I love
exactly.
that. So I think for me, I looking at the pattern of guys I've dated, I can say that I do not have a physical type.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was younger, I think I was influenced a lot by my brother who was, like, in the rock scene, and so I
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
yes, I kind of thought that in high school, that was my type, the rocker,
Rocker.
grungy, long hair,
Yeah.
Metallica t-shirt, like that, but it was very much like that grungy, like, rocker style guy, and I was like, "This is it."
Mhm.
And then after that relationship, it I did not follow that pattern at all. It was, like,
Mm.
completely different colors, shapes, sizes, tall, short,
Yeah,
white, black, all the things. So,
all the things.
I don't have a specific, like, physical type, but I will say that I am very much attracted to people that are kind of artistic
I love
in
that. That's
some way.
awesome. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, whether you're musically inclined or
Yeah.
whether you are a writer as well. Okay, so what would make you stop scrolling? Like, if you were like, "Okay, he's checking some boxes," but you run into like what would make you stop scrolling besides faith? Let's say he's a Christian, he's
Yes,
tall,
I was
dark, and
gonna say that.
handsome. What else?
Someone who would bash the faith or is very adamant like that, I would not like that. Someone who were to talk negative about women, I don't know. See, the thing I have a question about, like, how does that whole dating obviously I've never seen. I've only heard through like my brother-in-law and through other people like who've been on that. But in that realm, is it like Facebook where you can see some of their previous comments or that's what I would wanna know based off of that, if you can see their comments, like, how is their mentality? Do they have a negative perspective on the world and people, especially, like I said, towards women? I wouldn't like that. Kinda like machista, that would be a
Mm,
red flag for me. So, yeah, I would wanna know how is their mind? Are they a positive or a negative person? That would matter to me because of how I was raised and the environment that I was raised in, it matters a lot to me how their mindset is. And do they have a
y
positive one?
yeah, that's good, and I don't know if you can look at their comments. I don't think that on these dating apps you can see their comments or whatnot,
Okay.
but I think based on the conversation, like once from what the little bit that I know, like once you both swipe right,
Huh?
you're like in this chat of sorts and then you're like communicating within the chat. So I think
Okay.
that to your point, there are some things that you might be able to pick up through the conversation, like what, like how, is he more negative, is he more positive, like in your conversation with them you can probably gauge that. So I think that those are like two red flags that are important for all of the primas. Like yeah, like
Yeah.
negativity is hard, it's hard
Negativity is
to
hard. Now, life is hard. We all go through it, but it's your outlook on things. And are you an overcomer? And
yeah.
that's where I bring it back to faith.
Yes, especially if we're first chatting it up. Like, "I don't even know you,
Yes.
sir. Like, I just swiped
Yes.
right." So
Right.
if you're already giving me machista vibes or if you're
Yep.
already giving me Debbie Downer,
Yep.
it's a no for me.
That's a no. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, a what would make me like stop engaging or scrolling or chatting with someone, I think those are two good ones that you mentioned. I think also like I gotta know, are you employed?
Right. Oh
What
my
is your
God. I love that. Yeah.
what is your occupation, sir? You got a job or not?
Do you got a job or not? Okay, let's not forget about this one. Yes, of course.
Yes, because listen, in 2026, you
Yes.
gotta have a job.
You
I
gotta
need
have a
to
job.
I need to know who are you
Yes.
employed with, okay? Listen. You filing
Oh
taxes or
my
not?
word. We gotta see the references.
We need to see the references, okay? Like, I need to know that you are employed. That's a red
Yes.
flag for me because we're just not doing this. We're just not
Oh
doing
my
this
God. No scrubs.
unemployment. You could be so fine, and if you ain't got
Yeah.
no job, it's a no.
Broke.
It's a no. Okay? Okay? That yeah, and
Oh man.
I think women get a bad rep because
Yeah.
immediately, like, if we ask, "What's your income? What's your job?" I think that guys are already on, like, high alert because they feel like they're going to be judged by
Yes.
their employment. I am here to tell you, you will be judged for your employment.
I love
100%.
the honesty. So true.
100%, because 'cause we're not doing
100.
it.
Keep it 100.
In 2026, we're not doing it, okay?
Yeah, we're not doing it
You gotta be employed full time.
full time.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. So we kind of mentioned some red flags. We mentioned some green flags. So here's a question that I want you to kind of think about. And this might be difficult for you because you've only had Luis, right? Luis has been
Yeah.
your first boyfriend, your husband, but still,
Yeah.
what are some things that you tolerated back then, even from Luis in your relationship? Maybe like when you were dating, what are some things that you maybe tolerated a little bit that
Mhm.
now you would never tolerate from Luis?
That is so hard because I feel like that's a great question for him. He's tolerated I'm being super sincere. He's tolerated a lot through me because I came with I'm gonna be so honest, broken habits, and I came from a broken home, and the way that I would behave or communicate, my interpersonal communication skills wasn't the best. In terms of him, gosh, I really can't think of anything. It's definitely me that I was so bad seeing that.
Well, that's good for the honesty. So, do you feel
Yeah,
like do you think that those things are things that he tolerated back then that he does
yeah,
not tolerate now, or are those things that
right.
he still tolerates now? Like he's like, "I know that you were struggling with this back then in your 20s and I still tolerate those things now because I love you." So or have you changed enough where he feels like I tolerated then, but now you're past that. So,
Yeah.
you know,
So there were a lot of things that I brought into our relationship, like I said, about when I was transitioning, when I came out of my household that I brought into our relationship, him being my first boyfriend, he quickly became my everything for me. And he did take on a lot, and he was like constantly guiding me and doing his best to help me and to break certain habits and my process of thinking and how I viewed the world, my perception of, about other people as well. And today, I am not the same person that I was in the beginning of our relationship, thank God. But I have to be honest with you. Like, that's why I go to church. That's why I have a therapist. That's why I do the things that I do today so that I don't fall back on those bad habits.
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
good.
those are some of the things that I'm doing today.
Yeah. So, what do you is there any advice that you would have for women, ladies, primas in the dating scene
Yeah.
now that you would kind of share with them in terms of like, I know that you when you were younger, he was your end all be all. How can
Yes.
that be destructive? In your relationship, it worked out and
Yeah.
it wasn't destructive, but I think you and I have seen when women and
Put their
primas
yes.
put everything on the shoulders of a man or put all their eggs in this one basket and they're just like they completely give themselves
Right.
solely to this person. Like how can that actually be destructive to a relationship?
That is and I kinda was, becoming a little destructive because that is a lot of pressure for one person to take, for they can't be your dad, your lover, your everything like that. That becomes overwhelming for them as well. So you also do need to focus on being yourself as well, like better yourself in your career, in your education, whatever it is that you aspire to be. You both can work together in your personal life and grow like the triangle. You're just going and going and going. But for me, I view it like Christ is at the top, God is at the top, and we're both working together in our personal walks to get closer to the Lord. So, but what I would recommend is not suffocating them, also giving them their space to be their own and just improve yourself.
Yeah, I
I think
agree.
all those things are important.
I agree. I feel like when a man feels like you are suffocating them, that you
Yeah.
are just being like you're just consuming all of their time,
Yes.
all of their like space, it does
Yes.
get overwhelming, like you
It gets
said.
overwhelming.
And
Yes.
and your advice is the perfect one. Prima, find yourself
Yeah.
a hobby.
Find yourself a hobby, start painting, start learning another language. Get going.
Start painting, start learning some other language, do things like come back to you. Like come back to
Yes.
what
Come back
you
to you.
yes. Yes, because I think that men, there's like a there I think that as much as like men want a woman that is submissive and
Mhm.
gentle, they also like a woman that is independent in some ways and
Yes.
that like again has her own identity and who she is not tied to who he is, especially if you're not married. Like if
Mhm.
you are not married to this man,
Yes, 100.
if you are
Yes.
dating, if you have just swiped right and
Right.
you are just getting to know this person, prima, let me tell you something. Do
Yeah.
not make this man your idol.
Yep. That's exactly it. Do not make him your idol.
Do not make him your idol because
Obsessiveness and
yes, because when you make a
yeah.
man your idol, especially when he is not your husband, it's
Yes.
not gonna end the way that you want it to end, prima.
Absolutely. Wow.
And
Yep.
even in your marriage, we love and honor and respect our husbands, but we do not idolize, right? Like
Right.
we because we know that we should have no idols, not even
Right.
our husband, right?
Right.
Like
Yes.
Christ is at the top before our husbands, right? The
Yes.
number one. And we just have to be careful because a lot of times we fall in this trap of like idolizing our husbands
Yes.
or our partners or our, our boyfriends. We built them like an altar, so we just gotta be
Yes.
careful with that, primas.
We have to be careful with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So marriage definitely changes the game. So we've
Yeah.
swiped right. We've swiped right on our husbands. Our husbands have swiped right on us. They had all the green flags. They had some red flags, because it's everyone's gonna have the little red flags, but it's okay. We got over them. We got over them. We learned. And you know what? It was more green flags than red flags. So we got married. You're married. I'm
Yes.
married. So how how is your husband different now than when you first met him? Like how has marriage changed him?
Oh, that's a really good question. Okay. I would say marriage and fatherhood changed him. And we became parents at a very young age. We were 23. And that really made him step up and be like, we got another mouth to feed here. Okay. I gotta kick it into gear and really focus on my career and step it up. And as he started to do, he just started moving up in the banking industry and hustling and working really hard with school, hard with work. And that really changed him. I will say I love the fact that he has throughout the years always been firm in his faith and he has never strayed. Like you'll hear people, they go astray or they struggle with their faith and maybe they'll turn to the world and just it just goes bad for them, darkness. But that is one path that he has never strayed away from and that has really helped him. But yes, fatherhood and marriage did change him and help shape who he is today for the better.
Yes, we love a responsible, faithful king. Like, go ahead,
Yes.
sir. Like he knew he had to be responsible for his children and his wife, and he kicked it into gear. He was like, I
He
gotta
kicked
go
it into
out,
gear.
get this job because we ain't messing
Yes.
with no
Yep.
brokey broke.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think that for me, it was so Fernando has completely changed. Like
Yeah.
we have been through so many changes as a married
Mm.
couple. When we met each other, he was 19, I was 20, turning 21. We were both in college, and college for us was cray cray to say the
Yeah.
least, and we were just living it up. Like we were in
Yeah.
college, in the college parties,
Mhm.
he's in a frat, so we were in the frat parties. Like we were living it up in college. And then as we got married and had a kid, I was like more so in the mindset of okay, we have to change, we have to mature, we can't continue to do the same things that we've been doing in college
Wow.
now because we're older, we're supposed to be wiser, we're starting a family. And I think that that was
Yes.
a hard adjustment for him because I don't think that he was at that time ready to let that part of his life go.
How
And
old
he
was it
is
when you guys became parents? What was that age? It was
I
like
was
20s.
26
Okay,
and he was
26.
24.
Okay.
Yes. So he's 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
And women just mature faster than men, and
Yeah.
I think that he struggled with that, but I think that as we continue to go through this journey of marriage, and as he has gotten closer to the Lord, because when me and Fernando first started a relationship, I don't think I was the Christian that I am now. I don't think I
Mm.
was the woman of faith that I am now, and he surely was not at all on the journey
Mm. Okay.
with the Lord. But I think that as we grow, mature, um,
Right.
put Christ at the center, we're learning how to put Christ at the center. I've seen so much change from him. And the Lord is just a redeemer, and
Yes.
he will take your past and make it into a testimony.
Wow.
And so it has been a true pleasure to see all the phases that Fernando and I have walked through, and it's been a pleasure to come into this season where we are really again like just focused on Christ at the center of our marriage, and I think that it makes all the difference.
It makes all the difference.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. So, let's see. I think that we both can attest to the idea that dating in 2026 sounds exhausting, like having to
Yes.
swipe right, swipe left, message each other, have some like little chit chats, go on all these dates, try to like figure out like, are you trying to date for real? Are you just trying to hook
That
up?
yes. Are you trying to date for reals or
Yeah, like I don't know if I could survive the dating apps. Could you
yeah,
survive the dating apps?
girl. No way, no how. For me, my motto back then, it's funny, even before this whole dating app thing, I always told myself I'm either going to meet them at school or church. And those two were my priorities. It was school and church. And that was just that's education, values, morals. That was for me my priority.
Mm,
And I still to this day, that's what I would be looking for. I would not be wanting to go on that for just for me, it feels as though you have to present yourself in a way that's kinda like resume-ish, and
mm,
you competing with all these people. I would just prefer it to be more naturally. I'm old school like that, though. I
yes.
would want it to be more like frills. Meet him at church, meet him, somewhere else at a hobby place. I would sign up for some arts and crafts or something.
Yeah, that's such a good way of putting it, that it feels like it's a resume. It's a
Yes.
dating resume, and it's just, and then the catfish of it all,
Yeah.
I've never been on the dating apps, but I remember watching Catfish on MTV, and I always was so scared. Like, I was like, "What in the world? Like,
Who
how
are you gonna get?
who are you going to get?" And this is back in the Facebook and
Word.
MySpace days, and you never knew who you were gonna get.
Oh, you never knew who you were gonna get. I had a friend, back in Los Angeles where I'm from, and this guy was married with 5 kids. He did not disclose any of that to her. She did not know what she was getting into, but this was like, I wanna say 6 months later on down the line after meeting him from, like, this People of the Fish app or something. It was People of the Fish or something like that it was called. And she was so in love with this guy, and then she found out that he was married with all these kids. And it's like, she had no clue. This guy was living a double life. She had no idea.
I don't think that the dating apps have, like, comments and all those things, because at
Okay.
least if you're, like, on Facebook or Instagram,
Mhm.
I can see your comments. I can see what's going on. Like, it would be very hard, I think, to, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it would be harder to hide a whole marriage and family on Facebook, but I
Yeah.
mean, it could happen. But definitely it's more dangerous, I think, on a dating app, because you really are going off of such little information,
Such little information. I
unless you're
don't know,
spending
but
the time to chit chat.
I saw the worst ex ever on Netflix, and that documentary series, one of the guys there was on the dating app, and he didn't go by his first name. He went by like his middle name or a made up name, whatever it was. And you just got to be careful. The guy had a record on him, and he was a criminal, and you just don't know what you're going to
Yeah. So if you're on a dating app, definitely be
get. Do your
careful.
research and check
Do
the
your
references.
research. Listen, if there was ever a time to be a lurker, that it would be in 2026 when you're trying to date.
Right.
I'm gonna
I
take
can't
that
even
name,
imagine.
I'm gonna cross
Yeah.
reference it.
All
I wanna
right.
see I wanna see your Facebook, I wanna see your Instagram, I
Credit
wanna see it
score?
all.
No.
I wanna see your LinkedIn. You better have a LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn,
Yes.
so, what do you think? Are situationships ruining dating?
Situationships. Okay, that's when you don't put a name on it, right?
You don't put a name on it. I don't claim you to be my girlfriend. I don't
Mm.
officially claim you to be my boyfriend, but we're in some kind of situation. We're in some kind of
Okay,
situation.
situationships. That is messy. That is messy. I would not. I would be straight up and be like, "What are we?" Because I ain't playing games. I want to
Yeah.
know. That's just me. I would just go straight to it. Just be like, "Am I your girl or not? Are you claiming me?"
But
Wow.
because us primas,
Mhm.
sometimes we get delusional. And
Yeah.
sometimes we think that our situationship is like the love of our life.
Right. Yeah. Easily.
And so we
Especially if
have
you're just so madly in love with the guy and you're just like, oh, he's my this, he's my that. And you start just haciendo una película in your mind, like of what's going to happen in our marriage and our this and our that. And then it's like, he ain't even claiming you yet. What is
he
going
didn't
on?
even he didn't even claim you, sis.
Yeah.
We got to be careful. We have to have discernment.
Hmm.
I will say, you need to, primas, listen to me when I tell you. If you were in a situationship, ask wise counsel from your girlfriends, from your family,
Yes.
from your sisters, from the primas. Ask, like, explain the situation, get some wisdom, get some wise counsel on that, and listen to the advice.
Wow,
Because
yes.
if you, like, my mom always says, el que sigue consejo se muere de viejo.
Se muere de
Listen to
viejo,
the
así mismo
advice.
es. Wow, yes.
Listen to the advice, because it will, again, sometimes in our delusion and in our
Mhm.
obsession, we start, like you said, making a película. We have
Yes.
the whole Pinterest board with the
The whole
wedding
Pinterest board,
has
yes,
already
girl.
happened. But
Everything.
like, girl, let's take it
Bring it
back a
back.
few notches. Let's
Yes.
bring it back.
Let's
You were
bring
in
it
a
back.
situationship. The man has not even
Yes.
claimed you.
Mhm.
Okay? We want to see the your Instagram handle on his bio. That's when you know it's
That's
real.
right. Yes. Unfortunately, but that's how it goes nowadays. Everything it's gotta be like that.
I remember, like, on the Facebook days, on the MySpace days, like, you
Yeah.
knew if you were in a relationship, that person was on your top one. You had, like,
Yes.
a little thing about him. Like, it was very obvious if you were
Yes.
in a relationship. I think people even put, like, in their bio, like, single, taken, whatever it was,
Yes,
like,
yes.
and
I remember for
nowadays,
the longest, I had single and I was like, dang it, until I met Louis. Oh my gosh, yes, that's so
yeah.
funny.
So be careful, primas, with the
Yes,
situationships.
be careful, be careful.
Yeah. All right. So
Situationships.
let's see. What if we met today? We both met our husbands years ago, but what if we met them today? What if we met them in 2026 today? Where would you meet, Luis? Like, where do you think you guys would, like, run into each other?
So the man works a lot, but he has interest in jujitsu and he goes to church. So for me, finding a good church is where I would be at for sure. And I don't do jujitsu anymore. However, I know I would meet him at church. And
Well,
I'd
you
be like, he fine.
if I met Fernando today, I would probably have to meet him. Girl, I would have to be a gamer. I would have to be on these, like,
No.
Call of Duty, like, headset on and everything to meet this man. Yes, Fernando is a gamer. So I would
He's a
probably,
gamer.
yes, I would need to be on these
Oh my word.
games, okay? And I would probably meet him there, or
Mhm.
probably, like, at a concert or something. When we
Yeah.
were younger, he was very much into, like, going to those music festivals. I was also really into music festivals as well. I was going to, like, the rock shows, and he was going to the
Mhm.
EDC, like, a more electric,
Oh,
but,
yeah, yeah.
we might have run into each other at, like, some musical show of sorts.
Yes. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And do
and
you guys
yes,
have similar tastes in music today?
today, I think so, but at his core, he's like he loves EDC, and at my
Mm.
core, I'm from Hialeah, so I
Right.
like
I
Spanish
love that.
music.
Yeah.
I like the reggaeton, the
The reggaeton.
cubaton,
I
the
love that.
merengue, and then when I was younger, I was more into the rock scene for sure.
Yeah.
So I think that we would have to, like, I don't know, maybe it would be like a worship concert or something.
Yeah.
I think we both love, like the same worship bands and songs.
Mhm.
So we could probably meet at a worship concert as well.
I love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Who would approach who first? You said that when you were younger, you approached him first. If you met him
Yes.
today, would you still approach him first?
I would still approach him first. I'd probably ask him some questions in the Bible, or if we were in jiu-jitsu, I'd be like, "Can you show me that move one more time?"
Hold on. Ay, oh, that's funny.
Oh my gosh.
I think that I would not approach him first. I think I would flirt with him and like give him the
Mhm.
eyes and maybe be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's nice to see," like be very, very friendly with him, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't necessarily like approach him first in that way. I would wait until he, makes the first official approach of like, okay, like let's talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. We're different in that aspect because 'cause I'd be like, let's go."
All
Oh
right.
my god.
So we will close out with this final question. Knowing, and I know the answer, but I'll ask anyways.
Yeah,
Knowing everything you know now about your husband, his green flags, his red flags, all the changes he's gone through, would you still choose your husband today?
absolutely.
Likewise, I would still choose
Yes.
my husband today.
I love that.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
Adriana, thank you so much for joining me for this very fun conversation.
Yay, thank you.
And with that, primas, thank you so much for listening. Con muchísimo amor. Bye, primas.
Bye.